Hi, today we're going to learn how to clean a small mammal cage in our veterinary science class. This class in particular is one of our rat cages, but our other small mammal cages are cleaned very similarly, if not exactly the same. First and foremost, you have to secure your animals. So these are our two rats who have been secured in a critter container. I make sure that the lid is snapped very securely and that they are kind of out of the way of what I'm doing so they don't actually fall off the table or anything like that. So I'm left with our dirty cage that has their food bowls, water bottle, and everything in it. First thing I want to do is remove anything that's sitting on the floor. A toy, a chew, food bowls. So it looks like they caused a lot of mess in their food bowl. So I'm going to go ahead and dump that in the bedding, and I will refresh that. Some animals were able to salvage some of their food if it hasn't been soiled, but in this case, this has been. Then, remove any water bottles, because those are going to need to be washed as well. Okay, the stuff that is hanging, I'm typically going to leave, unless it's a hammock. So this was hanging in their cage, and I know rats will typically use the bathroom in hammocks and things that they sleep in. So this is probably going to hit the washer, and I will replace it with a fresh one. Okay. What I'm most interested in making sure that's cleaned and scrubbed is the base of the cage. Oh, there's another little chew. Get that out. All this soiled stuff hits the trash can. Trying your best to make everything go in it. If you spill, it's okay. Just make sure you get a broom and sweep up when you're done. So with my empty bin, I'm going to come over to the tub. There is another video on how to properly use the HydroSurge and make sure it is correct. But I'll just give you a little crash course. You are going to need to make sure that this is switched to rinse, because if it's on shampoo, then we're gonna have dog shampoo come out, and we don't want that right now. So it's gonna be water only, and then I turn on my faucet. I kind of do a little mix of warm and cold, and this right here will release the water. So I pull that up just a little bit. I don't need a lot of pressure, and I rinse. Okay. Typically, let me get the scrub brush. There are usually scrub brushes around the tub though. We use dish soap to actually clean our small animal cages. In this case it's Palmolive, but whatever brand is available will work. We're gonna want to make sure that we're able to scrub the entire base of this and get any of the caked on feces, urine, anything like that. Give it a good scrub. Now rats are notoriously messy creatures. Make sure you scrub up the sides as well. Now what we're going to do is just rinse. Release that pressure again. Okay, notice how I also rinsed down the tub because there was some feces that was caked onto there, and I wanted to make sure that made it way down the drain. I also rinsed my scrub brush. I turned my water pressure off, and I'm also going to turn my faucet off. The best towel you can use to dry is one of these, a hand towel. If we use one of the really big towels, it tends to be a little bit of a waste, and we do a lot of laundry in here. So please grab a small hand towel, dry, and then what is great is you can the people that are cleaning other cages around you, you can let them use this towel too, because it's not that wet. So it can be used a couple times to dry a couple cages. Okay, there for the next person. Okay, so we're gonna go back to my station. We line small animal cages with newsprint. Newsprint can be found above our kennels. Typically 1 sheet is good, and it's not perfect, guys, it does not have to be perfect. So you're going to fold the paper to fit the bottom of the cage. Now, a lot of students might obsess over this being perfect, and I promise you it does not have to be. That's what I ended up with. Pretty easy, pretty fast. Next thing you want to do is we'll put bedding back into the cage. This is our Carefresh bin, and I've just restocked, so a lot of the Carefresh is still stuck together. So I'm just going to pick up a brick. And if you do find your Carefresh in a brick, break it apart with your hands, and it fluffs up nicely. We want a good layer of bedding. We don't want it too light, and we don't want it too thick. So just like a few inches deep. Make sure it covers the entirety of the bottom. And Carefresh is great because it's low dust and it's highly absorbent. So it's really good for the animals to keep odor down. I'm gonna start putting toys back in. I'm going to clean and refill the food bowls. Now these are cleaned with Palmolive as well, but we often will take these to the sink instead of the tub. And then I'll refill their food. Water bottles, they all need fresh water. I will also take this to the sink. I will empty it, put in just a dab of Palmolive. A little goes a long way. I'll clean the inside, shake it around, rinse all the Palmolive out, and refill the water with fresh water. Make sure you get all the soap out before you return it to the animal. The last thing you're gonna wanna do once you get all that back in and your cage top back on, well, depending on what cage you're cleaning, they don't all look like this. The last thing you wanna do is return your animal to the cage. Afterwards, you'll be left with an empty critter container. This has gotten dirty in the process. So my last step of everything in actuality is to clean this. Same thing, take it to the sink, take it to the tub, clean it with Palmolive, dry it, return it to where our stocked critter carriers are. And that's it.